All right, my name is Professor Jeffrey Karabin. Welcome to Business Ethics. So this course is going to be an online course, and I'm looking forward to taking this journey with you, exploring some of the key concepts in business related to right and wrong, good and bad. Okay, so just at the very outset, I want to stress my expectations for you and your expectations for me. So in terms of the weekly expectations, what do I expect from you? I expect you to watch any videos that are assigned or complete any reading that is assigned to you. That is absolutely fundamental. That is key. And each week you're going to be expected to do that. Each week you're also expected to submit 4 posts on the discussion board. One of those posts has to be a direct response to one of the questions, one of the prompts. Each week there's going to be 3 to 4 prompts, thoughts based on the readings, based on the video, for you to respond to and to offer your thoughts. So again, 4 total posts. One of those posts has to be a direct response to a discussion board prompt. One of those posts has to be a direct response either to a comment made by myself or one of your classmates. And then the other 2 can fall into either category. So I don't care, maybe you can do 3 responses to me or to your classmates and 1 response to a discussion board prompt. Or you could do 3 discussion board prompts and 1 reply to a classmate or myself. And you can certainly do more than that. Now, for a discussion board post to receive full credit, you have to have a post that is at least 5 to 7 sentences long. 5 to 7 full sentences. I agree is not a sentence. So it has to be substantial. It has to be thoughtful. So 5 to 7 full sentences, and this means for whether you're responding to a discussion board prompt directly or whether you're responding to myself or a classmate. Okay, then there are also going to be weekly assignments, a class poll, a quiz, a short assignment, a living ethics. That is also something that you are meant to respond to each and every week. Each and every week, I will post this on NU Learn and I will send you an email. And that's one of the weekly expectations for myself. Each week, I am going to tell you what to expect, what the assignment is, what the reading is, so on and so forth. And that will be emailed to you, and that will also be posted on the homepage of NU Learn. So those are the 2 places you can find it. A week is going to run from Monday at midnight to Sunday at 11:59 and 59 seconds. That is going to be your week, and there are 15 weeks throughout this semester. What else should you expect? You should expect lectures delivered both kind of in an online, a video format, as well as a PowerPoint or a Prezi or a Word document that will be posted to NU Learn. I'm not necessarily always going to do both forms of lectures, but most weeks I will do both forms of lectures, and that will be a supplement to your reading or to the class videos that you're assigned. A weekly conference call will be held. So each week there is going to be a conference call. Each week that conference call is there to help you to answer questions, to discuss some of the class topics more in depth. And so that will be available to you. And I'll probably offer that a couple different times so people can get on, can fit that into their schedule. There will be practice quizzes available to you. So before you take a quiz, I highly recommend that you take the practice quiz, look over it. The types of questions that are on the practice quiz will be the types of questions that are on the normal quiz. And then those practice quizzes will also serve as a way for you to review for either the midterm or the final exam. Okay, so again, those are what you should expect from me. Weekly updates about assignments, about readings posted on NU Learn and emailed to you, lectures delivered normally in both a video and a document format, a weekly conference call, practice quizzes. That is what you should expect, and I expect you to hold me accountable for that. Okay, now in terms of the course itself, we are discussing business ethics. And really the central question I want to focus on is, what does it mean to be a good business person? What does that mean? What does that term good mean in relationship to business? Does it mean being moral? Does it mean following a few key moral principles, but then anything else goes? Or does it simply mean being successful in the sense of making a lot of profit or generating, dominating the market share? So what does that mean? That's something we want to explore. That's something this course will come back to again and again. In terms of the material for the course, the material for the course is going to be comprised of videos of myself with the lectures, but it's also going to include videos that I find on the internet that are relevant to the course, as well as the reading packet, which you can pick up in the bookstore, so you need to absolutely pick that up, and Kevin Gibson's book. So those, Ethics of Business Introduction. So that is what you are expected to have, and you need to have that immediately on the go. All right, in terms of outcomes, what do I want you to get out of this course? What do I want you to come away with? Really, it's three main things. So the first thing is I simply want you to become more thoughtful. I want you to be able to think better. I want you to be able to analyze your own opinions and the opinions of others at a deeper level. You may change your opinions on certain issues after this reflection and after discussions online with your classmates, or you may not. But either way, the goal is to become more thoughtful. I also want you to become better at creating arguments. This is a skill that is very often deficient in many collegiate students. It's a skill that employers want. It's a skill that employers see lacking often. And it's a skill that if you have, you are going to be in better position to be successful in your business, professional life, and in your personal life as well. Because if you are able to create better arguments, you're better able to communicate your point of view. And you're better able to convince people of your point of view. And then finally, there are some content outcomes. So what kind of are you supposed to know out of coming out of this course? You're supposed to have a familiarity with how ethics applies to business, a familiarity with how ethical choices occur in business, a familiarity with the basic philosophical and conceptual structure of the field, an awareness of ethical responsibilities facing employees, customers, citizens, managers, and executives, a knowledge of the basic ethical framework with which to examine a range of ethical issues. And this ethical framework we're going to explore through three major thinkers, or three major approaches. One is Machiavelli. Two is a guy named Milton Friedman, an economist. And then three is a Catholic approach to business. So those three worldviews, those three ways of looking at business ethics are going to frame the options, are going to be frame the ways in which you can think about business ethics in this course, and you can agree with them, disagree with them, or come up with your own. And a knowledge of how a Catholic Franciscan ethical approach applies to business. Now, in terms of evaluation, and this is all in the syllabus, so it's definitely something you need to read. Essentially, there are going to be 7 grading components in this course. The lowest of those components drops. So whatever is your lowest overall grade in the grading components, that drops. It does not count against you. So part of this grade is the discussion boards. The discussion board grade is cumulative. It starts in week 1 and it goes until week 15. Each week your average could go up, unless you're at 100, then it can't go up, or it could go down, depending upon whether you do those 4 discussion boards and whether or not you do them fully. Okay, quiz average. So the quiz average is based on the average of the 4 quizzes you have throughout the course. Your lowest overall quiz drops. So if you really bomb a quiz, if you struggle with it, you get a bad grade. That grade will not count. That will count your 3 highest quizzes in the quiz average. You've got a short assignment average. So the short assignments are going to be delivered either in an electronic video form, 6 to 7 minutes on YouTube, or in the more traditional written form where you have to get to at least 2 pages. And in the Creating Arguments video, I really go in depth into what I expect from that. There's a midterm exam, which should cover material for the first half of the course. There's also a living ethics. So living ethics are essentially where you go out and you do some activity related to the course. You put the concepts of the course into practice. You're going to have an ethical presentation. This ethical presentation is going to be related to a conversation you have either with a Newman employee or with an outside employee that I'll submit the list to you. And it's really focused on a ethical dilemma faced by Newman or faced by people in the particular business which you would choose. And you can do this either in terms of like a PowerPoint or a Prezi. You could do a video, but you've got to do this presentation, this report, you might say, and submit that. And then finally, a final exam. The final exam can be taken in either a written or an oral format, your choice. You have one form of extra credit in this course. That extra credit involves a period of quiet reflection, and you can submit one per week. And if you do 10 of these throughout the semester, you would get an extra 100 points. And so that would be the same as getting an extra 100 points in your midterm exam or your living ethics or your quiz average or your discussion boards. And so it can be a boost. And what you do is essentially without your cell phone, without other people around, you go into a period of 10 to 15 minutes of quiet reflection. Whether that be prayer, whether that be meditation, whether that be just kind of being present to yourself, whether that be on a walk in nature. And the point is to just kind of get out of the day-to-day grinds, the day-to-day burdens, the day-to-day communication that you need to respond to, and to just be present, be still. And it relates to the course objective of being more thoughtful. And then you do this period of 10 to 15 minute quiet reflection. And then on the NU Learn homepage, there is a reflective journals tab. And you just click on that for the week. And you would submit your reflective journal. And this is just, it can be very short, it could be long, but it's just your reflection on that period of quiet presence to yourself. And so you could talk about what this reflection was like. You could talk about being frustrated by it. You could talk about being illuminated by it. You could talk about, kind of what you were going through, but it's based on that period of quiet reflection. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the rest of the syllabus because you can do that for yourself, and that's something that you should do, Let me say something very briefly about the structure of the course. I've broken it up into different sections. So we're going to begin by just introducing business ethics. That's what this video is for as well. And then we're going to go to the first major perspective that we're going to study in this course. That is Machiavelli, and we're going to look at how he relates to value. Then we're going to go look at capitalism. That is the economic system that drives, that defines our economy today. It is capitalistic, more or less. And it's also considered by many people very Machiavellian. But then it's also going to provide a transition to Friedman, who's a brilliant, funny, engaging thinker who also defends a capitalistic form of economics. Then we're going to go to Catholic thought. We're going to look at that. That's our third major perspective. Then we're going to get into some kind of particular topics related to business. So we're going to look at gender in business. And then we're going to look at concepts such as responsibility, rights, autonomy, and beneficence. And beneficence is essentially doing good. Okay, so the end of the syllabus talks about the different forms of support you can get. And remember, you're going to have my